Hello everyone and welcome back to Pro Wrestler Reacts. My name's Cabby and I've been a professional wrestler and coach for the last 20 years. And on this channel, I react to all things professional wrestling. Now before we get into this, can you do us a little favour and just click that subscribe button? Cheers. Now, on to the good stuff. The following video is intended as a light-hearted look into some of your favourite matches. It is never my intentions to insult or offend the wrestlers involved or their fans. Any and all views are my own opinions based on knowledge passed on to me by some amazing people throughout my time in and out of the ring. So, what are we going to be watching today? I don't hear you ask at all. Well, funny you shouldn't ask. Because today we're going to be watching Seth Rollins taking on Cody Rhodes. That is basically match one of their recent trilogy. I heard the feud was good. This one has been requested. In fact, the whole trilogy has been. Random interesting factoid for you. I mentioned on a previous video that Cody Rhodes was trained by a bunch of people, but Al Snow was one of them. And Seth Rollins was basically trained by a guy on the Iowa indie scene called Danny Daniels. You may have heard of him, you may not, that's fine. But Danny Daniels was actually trained by Al Snow. So in this match, you've got somebody who was trained by Al Snow taking on somebody who was trained by a guy who was trained by Al Snow. Now, whether that'll show in the chemistry or not, that waits to be seen. But that does have me curious about how this one will play out. So I'm not going to bore you to death. We're just going to get right on in with it. So let's do this thing. That is the weirdest looking choir I've ever seen. What a sea of fantastic hats. Wait. Right, we're going to have to skip back a sec. Well, that. Yeah. Okay, that. Wait for it. Yes! Look at that. Look at that fantastic fella. He looks exactly like Howard Wolowitz of the Big Bang Theory. What's he doing there and why is he singing? La la la! Oh, it's going to be a long one. Oh, he's going for it though, isn't he? He is dedicated. Ah, so the choir was there to set a light to, I get it. That is a fantastic dressing gown.
He is a revolutionary, and tonight he is exactly
I know it's a robe.
where he belongs, at WrestleMania.
Now, I've never really seen the Seth freaking Rollins gimmick, and I know nothing about it. But that is a hell of a ring robe. You'd have to steal that from the poshest of hotels.
He looks absolutely elated to be here, the last one invited to the dance. WrestleMania has been a stage of comfort for Seth Rollins, a stage of success for Seth Rollins. But tonight, WrestleMania represents the unknown for Seth Rollins, who has no clue who his opponent will be here tonight. It has been a long, winding, arduous road to WrestleMania for Seth freaking Rollins.
I mean, that is some ring gear.
There is nowhere in this business that Rollins succeeds quite like he does on the grandest stage of them all. Are you feeling it, everybody? This is a downright spiritual experience.
Well, that's one thing that him and Becky Lynch have got in common. I can never decide whether I love or hate the ring gear. But that is a choreographed entrance to perfection. That is some serious camera training.
Feels so right.
I would have absolutely shat myself there.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
That's a fella who's come a long way since the last time he appeared in WWE.
Georgia, weighing in at 222 pounds, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes! This is surreal. I have got chills. From undesirable to undeniable. The prodigal son has returned.
Great bit of commentary.
6 years away from the WWE. Now he's back. Right now, winning from ear to ear. Second generation athlete, one of the richest in-ring IQs in our industry, and perhaps on the verge of turning Seth Rollins' WrestleMania moment into a nightmare.
You can feel the anticipation building.
This has all of the makings of one hell of a WrestleMania match. One of the American Dream star pupils in Seth Rollins versus Dusty's own baby boy, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Are you kidding me? No one at AT&T Stadium can believe.
There's so many connections between their training. Because obviously Seth Rollins was NXT, so yeah, Dusty will have had something to do with his training.
Let's see what Cody.
There's a lot that links these two.
Tonight, it has been years since Rhodes has competed in a WWE ring. The flow of time is always cruel. And a thing that doesn't change with time is just a memory of younger days. What has Cody got tonight for Seth freaking Rollins? Oh, it'll be a fly on the wall in the mind of a Seth Rollins. What kind of thoughts have got to be going through the mind of the visionary? Rollins has every right to be a little upset. Seth had no time to prepare, not for Cody Rhodes. But on the other hand, Cody's known. Cody accepted Mr. McMahon's offer to compete in this match. Which means he may have been able to game plan for weeks, perhaps months, for this very night.
It seems almost ironic in a sense. All the hurdles, all the barriers that Seth Rollins had to overcome to finally make it to WrestleMania, and now a major barrier in the form of Cody Rhodes stands in Rollins' way.
Yeah, but Seth freaking Rollins had to know tonight wouldn't be easy. Whoever Mr. McMahon chose was going to be a very tough out for him.
Always difficult to prepare for the unknown, even more so when the unknown is the American Nightmare. Beautiful arm drag by Cody Rhodes.
And now does this, as Cody Rhodes showboats
Nice.
here at WrestleMania. Does this cause only
That
frustration?
wasn't showboating. That was shedding skin. That was shrugging off the past. That was a fresh start for the American Nightmare.
Some great commentary here.
Much different Cody Rhodes from years past. Has charged his stock, gained invaluable experience all over the world.
But make no mistake about it, this is Seth freaking Rollins, who has been competing at the highest level of his entire career recently. This will be no easy task for Cody.
And also after the shock.
Okay, so I'm not personally a fan of test of strength in wrestling. The lockup's about as far as I'll go. Because I mean, with a test of strength, this is British psychology more than anything. So it's not that it's wrong; it's just not the style that I'm used to. And basically, with a test of strength, as soon as you interlock those fingers in whichever way you're doing it, you're very obviously leaving yourself open to a kick. And I just think that it burns the illusion a little bit if you go for a test of strength and no strikes used, because I mean, in reality, if you're fighting, you would throw the kick in there to gain the advantage. So yeah, but that's just me. That's just me.
Cody Rhodes, but a competitor like Seth freaking Rollins, they make fast adjustments.
The athleticism of Rollins is
No, I really didn't like that. If you're gonna throw a clothesline and the person's gonna duck it, you throw that as if you're gonna take the head off. You don't worry about your opponent getting hit. It's up to them to duck that clothesline. You don't do what we call a windmill, which is where you throw it over the top. You don't do that. It's choreographing and again breaking the illusion. If you're gonna run a wrestling spot where they're gonna duck a clothesline, you swing that like you're gonna take their head off. That's the moment you've got where you can swing a clothesline full force because you know it's not going to connect. You swing it full force, and your casual wrestling fan's going to buy into that, and it's going to cause an illusion where they believe you throw it that hard every time. So when it connects, it gives it more legitimacy. So the windmill's such a wasted opportunity, and it just exposes what you're doing far too much for me. But yeah, the fluency's great so far, but it's a rookie error to throw a clothesline like that, no matter where you are in the world.
Find out what it's like.
Look at the grin on the face of Seth freaking Rollins. How sweet, how satisfying would tonight be for Rollins to break the hearts of millions by defeating Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania?
Rollins side headlock on the move. Oh, down low goes Rhodes. And once again, it is Cody Rhodes who gets the best of Seth Rollins in that exchange.
And again, don't get too far ahead of yourself, Saxton. Rollins had no time, no ability to prepare for Cody tonight.
Has to make a game plan fast, but the mental games he is used to playing. Seth freaking Rollins gets into the head of everyone.
It's good to see you. Welcome back. It's good to see you.
Big right hand.
For example.
Rhodes answers.
And continues to answer, unloading shots on Rollins.
The gamesmanship that usually works.
Wait a minute. Rollins could be looking for the pedigree to end this one quick.
Quick escape from Rhodes.
Cody wanted to cross Rhodes.
Well, Rollins wanted the stop.
Both these superstars going deep into their arsenal.
Okay. I don't want to feel like I'm criticizing this match too much, but basically they're going for fluency, which is great, but they're sacrificing quality in order to get it. You saw yourself there the attempted curb stomp from Seth Rollins. That never looked like he was going for it. That looked like he deliberately missed. If you notice there, Seth Rollins went for a toe kick. The one thing you should never do when you're taking a toe kick is jump back, because they've judged the distance ready to connect just right. And if you jump back, that creates a gap, which means they miss by a good 3 or 4 inches. And again, there's the illusion gone. It's just a shame. It's a shame to see the illusion broken at the expense of attempting fluency. And while the fluency is good, I'm being pulled out of this illusion time and time again by silly little errors that 2 people with 15 plus years in the business each shouldn't be making. And you know me, I don't like being negative too much on here, but I'll always be honest.
Rollins could be looking for the pedigree to end this one quick.
Quick escape from Rhodes.
Cody wanted to cross Rhodes.
Well, Rollins wanted the stop.
Both these superstars going deep into their arsenal early.
Counter for counter, neither man able to sustain much of an advantage.
Whenever momentum shifts, who's going to get that advantage? Cody Rhodes or Rollins?
To the outside, both of them.
Jeez. Both men crashing down hard to the outside.
Cody Rhodes right in front of our table took a...
That is a hard move to get right.
Cody Rhodes, you have to give credit to Seth freaking Rollins as well, because Rollins had no time to prepare and is adjusting and adapting on the fly to the opposition.
He's getting creative, which has been his offensive strength every time he steps in the ring.
Cody gingerly marching over to Seth Rollins. Rollins.
Nice and creative.
Always thinking about that next step, the next way to disable his opponent.
So far, what the WWE Universe is seeing is 2 expert in-ring strategists using every trick in the book.
Starting in the left arm right now is Cody Rhodes on Seth Rollins.
Great strategy, breaking Seth Rollins down slowly, working that left arm.
And beyond. Cody's got to be careful not to make any mistakes. Cody can't get caught up in the magnitude of the moment.
Falling back for the armbar, a little too fast.
Short arm scissors applied.
You don't see a short arm scissor very often these days. That's pretty awesome.
Crushes the bicep, extremely painful.
Now he's got it in.
Approach by Cody Rhodes here.
I mean, with a short arm scissor, the whole idea is that your right arm goes through the joint of the elbow, so you post it through, but you're supposed to apply a butcher's grip and close your elbows in, because if you don't close your elbows in, there's a gap and it's reversible, and if you don't connect your hands and interlock them, then it's too easy to release the hold. So if you want a legitimate look, you have to butchers your hands.
Don't give Seth frickin' Rollins any time to come up with a new attack. Shoulders down, rolled him
That's a
up.
lovely reversal.
Great counter. Going to high Americana there. Key lock working on the shoulder.
Rollins, couple forearms there trying to stun Cody Rhodes a bit.
Rollins needs to create some separation desperately.
Oh, it's a popular one with the fans.
Be generous and say that was to the midsection. Kick right up through the middle of Seth frickin' Rollins.
Lovely.
Enziguri rocks Rhodes.
Now that's agility.
Kick straight to the ear. Beautiful balance, explosion, counter.
Seth trying to shake the blood flow back into his left arm. And Cody turns the tables once again.
Once again, so wise on the part of Cody Rhodes. Not allowing his game plan to get thwarted by Rollins.
Driving Rollins down shoulder first, perhaps tearing Seth's shoulder out of the socket in the process. And now the American Nightmare making the climb to the top rope.
Going airborne.
Eyes locked on Rollins.
Making crossbody, got caught halfway there.
Rollins a step ahead once again. That could totally turn the tides of this matchup.
Cody, about his ribs there. shows you the impact of that nasty drop kick to the ribs of Cody.
Visionary. And the weakness, he's going to go after it just like that.
He's pulling out the old Val Venus spot.
Rollins has done the same in the ribs of Cody Rhodes.
Oh,
Gutbuster by
that
Rollins.
might be it. Kick out just out.
There's one thing I have noticed about modern wrestling, though. The story's told a lot through vocalizing these days, and I don't just mean selling. I'm talking things that you say rather than through actions.
Seth freaking Rollins. Rollins taking personal offense that it was.
For example, Cody shouting ribs
McMahon's challenge. It could
to let people know that his ribs were sore.
Seth's WrestleMania dream
I mean,
into a nightmare.
back in the early 90s or whatever, you would have just held your ribs and sold them like hell.
Cody Rhodes can't march
I don't know whether I like it, I don't know whether I dislike it, it's just,
and embarrass
I just noticed.
WrestleMania. I'm not going to let it happen. Rhodes trying to muster up some sort of ability to escape this predicament.
On a pummel inside, get that underhook, he's got it. What can he do with it? Going after the arm again.
Rollins with a thunderous back elbow to the midsection of Rhodes.
Thing about a body attack, the ribs, the chest, it becomes difficult to take a full breath. Everything starts swelling. You can't get your air.
Cody connects with a forearm. Up and over Rollins.
Beautiful body slam.
Snap power slam by the American Nightmare. And once again, Cody Rhodes with an opportunity to take advantage.
On the move and out goes
Lovely.
frickin' Rollins.
Good stuff.
Bad ribs and all, Cody Rhodes trying to will himself on as the wheels are turning inside the mind of Rhodes. Whoa!
Sent over our
Jeez.
announce desk.
You guys all right?
That showed a lot of Seth Rollins' experience.
We're fine. I wouldn't say the same.
Watch the way he protects him.
Frickin' Rollins right in front of us.
When people take a suicide dive, they often make the mistake
Cody Rhodes here at Red.
they often make the mistake of trying to catch the opponent. Now, if you try and catch the opponent, you guys are going splat. And it's not pleasant. In reality, what you want to be doing is the Mexican way of doing things, or the hybrid lucha libre way of doing things. And that is exactly what Seth Rollins just did there. And basically that is to do everything you can using your forearms and your hands to push them back onto their feet before they land. You want them to be able to land on their feet so that they don't land on you, and so that they land safely. A lot of people make the mistake of going for a catch. If someone's coming at you in that sort of position, like I say, you're just going to go splat. You're going to bring them into yourself and they're going to land awkwardly on top of you. Whereas if you use your forearms and hands to push them up off their chest and try and get them back up to a vertical base before they hit the floor, it should be a perfect landing for both of you.
Perhaps to anyone other than Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins feeling the brunt of the attack of Cody Rhodes.
And Cody Rhodes giving him zero time to recover.
Which is a wise strategy, Jimmy.
It's a necessity. Cody knows exactly who he's dealing with. Cody knows what Seth freaking Rollins is all about. And Rhodes now.
Oh, to the cover, shoulders down. Oh,
Cody didn't get all of it, but got enough for a 2 count.
he knows he's going to have to beat the fight out of Seth frickin' Rollins.
Cody took a high risk, sacrificing his own.
Was that a crossbody or was that a moonsault?
Ribs. Got the cover on Rollins, but Seth out.
I think that was meant to be a moonsault, and I think he basically bottled it.
Quite get all of it. Grazed him with that shot. If that had been straight on, this might be over.
And how smart is Seth freaking Rollins? Rolling to the outside.
The best advice I ever got when learning to moonsault was draw an imaginary line. So say you're lined up for your moonsault, you're facing this direction. You draw an imaginary line all the way up, a straight line, and as you go for your moonsault, you follow that line perfectly, and your head won't turn, because when the head turns, the body follows. And that's what happened with Cody there. He turned, and his entire body turned with it. Whereas if you draw that imaginary line, a perfectly straight line, you'll follow it all the way over, and you'll get yourself a perfect moonsault.
Himself. And it looks as though Rollins is starting to hurt.
That doesn't stop it being scary, though.
You cannot allow any reprieve for Seth Rollins. Rhodes now from the steel steps.
Oh, God. Rollins driving Cody Rhodes down to the outside.
Corey.
Count is halfway through. Referee just counted to 5.
Now the intensity, the fire in the eyes of Rollins becoming visible. Toward that goal.
A count out is not going to be his WrestleMania.
That was lovely.
It might be. Oh.
So was that.
Super kick on the jaw. This is Seth freaking Rollins' night.
Rollins hoisting up Rhodes.
Oh.
Falcon arrow.
It's got to be a 1, 2.
He hasn't done that in the center, so what's he setting up for?
The kick out a near fall for Seth freaking Rollins.
Did not buy in to the hype. Seth reminding Cody this is his moment. This moment, this stage belongs
Or not.
to Seth.
I have no idea why he didn't bump him in the center.
The stomp. Good night, sweet prince.
Ready to earn his WrestleMania moment? No! Counter to the roll-up? Nope.
For a second time, Rhodes out of the way.
Cody wants crossroads again. Rollins counter,
Rolls him
shoulders down.
again. Near fall for Seth freaking Rollins.
Rhodes.
Oh!
Beautifully taken.
That's it. Hook in the leg. 1, 2, 3. Oh!
Seth freaking Rollins will not be denied.
One more risk, one more move in the playbook, the offensive playbook of Cody Rhodes.
Seth Rollins in time to take the legs out right from under him.
It's a creative way to continue your work on the ribs.
How do
I like
these
that.
two stars have anything left in the tank?
Because it's WrestleMania, Jimmy. Seth freaking Rollins has worked his entire life. Cody Rhodes was get any bigger than this match at this moment for these two superstars.
Did he just try and stick his head up his ass?
Situation for these two.
There's always something weird with Cody Rhodes' arm in these matches.
Now Cody Rhodes all alone, perched on the rope. Oh, maybe not.
Didn't have the energy to capitalize, couldn't do it in time.
Oh no. Oh no, dear God.
That was lovely. Oh my god.
Sleeper. No. That is it.
Oh, that's it. Shoulders down. 1, 2.
I can't even begin to tell you how hard that is. Wow.
Perhaps Rollins now asking himself the same question.
Yeah, but Seth Rollins always can tell himself, I need to be more ruthless. That's exactly what he's doing.
Rollins surveying the scene here at AT&T Stadium. The visionary making the climb to the top rope. Could it be Rollins feeling a hint of desperation?
Rollins thinking home run on the grandest stage.
Oh, nobody home. Move just in time for Cody Rhodes.
Rollins rolls through the Phoenix Splash. Double underhook. Here comes the pedigree.
No, Rhodes has other plans.
Uh-oh. No way. Double leg by Rollins. Pinning
Shoulders
combination.
down. Just
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt that sequence while it was at its peak, but another fundamental issue. Seth Rollins set up for the pedigree. He hooked the first arm, and as he went to hook the second arm, Cody gave him it. Now, if this was a real fight, we know it's not, but we're not supposed to give the illusion away easy. So if that was a real fight, why would you give them your arm? You wouldn't feed your arm to them. That's breaking the illusion. It's making it look more like a dance than an actual fight, and it's a shame to see the fundamentals being ignored at times here, because everything else they're doing is incredible.
enough for Cody Rhodes. Bridging his way out.
Exhaustion beginning to play a factor.
Rhodes still holding on. Rhodes gonna try it again. Arms hooked.
No!
Power bomb by Cody Rhodes.
Tiger Bomb.
Cody Rhodes, who can barely take a full breath right now.
But eyeing up Seth Rollins, stalking Rollins.
Lovely.
Cody cutter.
Cover. 1, 2, 3.
Still not enough. Still not enough to put Rollins away.
But how these superstars do.
We're about to find out.
Here it goes. Pedigree. That is it. One, good night.
It's just unreal. Unreal. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes have to be absolutely spent.
Who has that last effort to give, that last move, the last cover, a little bit more energy? That's the question now. You talked about technique, you talked about the aggression of both of these superstars, all the moves they have. That's not what this has come down to.
This is a fight. This is about pride. This is about success on the grandest stage of them all. And who wants it more? Trading rights. Cody Rhodes now with the upper hand.
Right now, Cody Rhodes is looking like the one who wants it more.
Rollins answering with a kick to the injured ribs. Just when Cody started to build momentum,
My company, my industry.
Rollins shuts him down. Seth freaking Rollins with Kawada-style kicks to the face of Rhodes. Rolling elbow. This has got to be it for Cody Rhodes. Good night.
Rollins can taste that the end is near for Cody Rhodes.
Congratulations to wait. Not again. Yes! Crossroads for a second time.
And Cody's held on. Cody's holding on.
Could it be two in a row? Yes!
Again.
This is insurance. This is Cody Rhodes making absolutely damn sure Rollins is done.
Nice.
Oh, baby boy.
Oh, monster pops.
Bionic elbow. Like the American dream.
Looking up, knowing his dad is looking down.
And now, for a third time, Crossroads.
1, 2, 3.
Nice.
The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
What an incredibly hard-fought victory for Cody Rhodes, 6 years away. Welcome back.
Okay, so let's talk about that match. As a whole, good match. Did I expect more from them? Absolutely. Was it the greatest match I've ever seen? No. I think there was a lot of contributing factors in there. Basically, you've got to look at the fact that it's the first singles match they've really had together that I'm aware of. I think they've worked together in tag matches, 6-man tag matches, things like that, but I don't think they've ever worked together in a singles match. So to have your first one-on-one match with somebody and it be at WrestleMania, that's a risk, because you don't know whether the chemistry's there, and sometimes between two people there just isn't the chemistry that you'd hoped for. And while I don't think that was the case here, I think basically what happened was you can't have the level of chemistry needed to have a WrestleMania main event type of match without building it. And I think these two, I know there's a trilogy, so by the third match, I've got no doubt that it'll be incredible and the chemistry will be there. The things that were pulling out, the creativity, the psychology, the match pacing, great stuff. But I'm always a bit frustrated when I see the fundamentals ignored for the sake of moves and spots, because the fundamentals are there for a reason. They're there to keep the illusion going. They're there for safety reasons sometimes, and this should be there should basically be a natural instinct at that point. I noticed them feeding arms. I noticed gaps in the holds. I noticed a lot of things that were a little bit frustrating. but obviously the match as a whole was super impressive. The crowd was into it, which is the most important thing. But for me, modern day wrestling fans appreciate effort more than anything, and the effort those two put into that match was unbelievable. Um, I think it's a good I think it's a good showing of what modern crowds like, and what you can do with a modern crowd is you can basically have a distinctly average beginning and middle to your match, but as long as you do an extremely fluent uh, set of falsies and roll into your finish and have the last segment of your match be absolutely spot on, that's what they'll remember anyway. Um, so as a whole, I did enjoy the match. It was a good match. I just expected more from the two of them, and the fact that the fundamentals got ignored, it sort of niggled on us a little bit. But I'm already looking forward to seeing the second one, because they're only going to get better and better as they work each other more, because the chemistry will be there. I've got no doubt that they both watched this match back and probably saw the same things that I'm pointing out now anyway, and will probably correct them before the second match. So I am looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do without the nerves of it being WrestleMania, without the pressure. Um, but it was a good match, and like I say, I am looking forward to the second time they work each other, and I'll be doing that one pretty soon. Um, but that's it for now. That's all I've got to say about that one for now. So yeah, go out and have fun, but don't be a dick. See you later.